welcome back to our program featuring highlights of the 20th Biennial Convention of the American Postal Workers Union. I'm Celeste Crenshaw. I'm wearing my blue t-shirt for today's Rally to Save Saturday service. Are you? Today is the day to wear your blue t-shirt and show your support for 6-day service. When the convention convened Monday, the spotlight was on the next generation of young activists in the union. To the cheers of delegates, 100 postal workers aged 35 and younger are participating through a special initiative sponsored by the National Union. Before the convention started, APWU President William Burris, who created the program, met with the young activists.
You are a representative of a small number of postal employees. Of the 260,000 employees that we represent in the American Postal Workers Union, fewer than 6,000 of them are age 35 or under. I thank you for being here and look forward to a long and productive career with you. And as I look from the sidelines back, I want to see you active.
I'm glad they're making efforts to get younger people involved. I think it's necessary. I recently become a shop steward for my local, and I'm hoping to take the information I learned here and bring it back to the membership.
I just became chief steward at my office, so I want to learn as much as I can.
And I want to leave here with a better knowledge of what goes on at these conventions and just about the APWU in general.
Although they are not officially delegates, the convention adopted rules allowing the young activists to be seated with their respective local and state organizations. These future leaders say it's a great opportunity to learn more about the APWU and the ways they can get involved in the union.
That's the thing is, like, everyone takes it for granted, like all the things that we have. You know, they started out, you know, with this great pay, these great wages, and that we didn't get those by accident. You know, people just assume that it's just something that just happened, and you know, they don't understand that, you know, it's because of these people in here and what they're doing in here that we have what we have.
I'm still so new. I'm really, to put it in perspective, I've been a union steward for about 3 weeks. So I haven't even finished reading the contract yet. So I'm just trying to learn, just absorb as much as I can, store it away, because at some point it's going to be useful, and just to see what, you know, what opportunities there are, and you know, what are all the different things that I could do within the union.
There's a lot of younger people who don't know a lot about the contract and tend to get pushed around a little bit, and I've probably have been guilty of that before, but I've built a good decorum, I think, with my local representatives, and you know, I know whenever I have a problem, I can go ask them. I know how to ask for it. There's people who don't know how to ask for union time, to even just go up and ask the supervisor to talk to their steward. I think a lot of what we need is just, you know, to inform and educate people of their rights. But you know, I didn't know anything about, you know, you look at that contract. It's a very intimidating piece of literature because it is so big and it's written in a lot of legalese, and I didn't understand any of it. The first time I opened it was when I was accessed out of Beaumont, Texas.
I think it would be important for younger people in leadership because you need to get to know the ropes before things get tense, and then when things get tense, you know, they can go bad in a hurry. So if you have you know, some experience in leadership and making decisions, I think that is beneficial to our whole APWU cause.
People who are younger don't understand actually what goes on and how important it is to be involved, and how are they going to learn without being introduced to it.
I think it's great to be the first to do something. You know, it's a great experience, you know, to say that, you know, we've been involved in the first ever 35 or under.
As these new activists take on leadership roles, they will carry on a strong legacy built by those who came before them, and they will continue the struggle to create and maintain good jobs at the Postal Service. President Burris, who is retiring at the end of his term in November, laid out some of the challenges in his final State of the Union address.
Since we last met in convention, the nation and the world have experienced a severe recession, which only through the intervention of President Obama did we not enter a Great Depression. We have lost millions of jobs. Yet APWU can point with pride to the fact that our members were shielded from the tragic effects of layoffs and downsizing. Not a single member represented by our union suffered layoff through these turbulent times. But the recession did not bypass us completely, and coupled with the anemic hiring practice of the Postal Service, our membership level has continued to decline. Automation, subcontracting, computerization, and work sharing have all affected the work that we perform. But we have weathered the storm, and of the remaining employees of our bargaining unit, we have achieved through outstanding efforts of the organizing department a record high voluntary participation rate. We stand at 83% of all eligible employees belong to our union. The challenges facing us have been daunting, but we have been up to the task. We are second to none in grieving and arbitrating contractual disagreements with our employer. And we win our share. We exist to negotiate, interpret, and enforce the collective bargaining agreement. And we fulfill that responsibility with flying colors. So as we approach 2010 negotiations, certainly there's apprehension. I can't predict the outcome. We do not want to go to arbitration. But there is, out there in the future, the framework of an agreement that's waiting to happen. We just have to be innovative. We have to be adventurous. We have to try new things. We'll be there, and we'll be there for the purpose of reaching an agreement that represents 270,000 dedicated employees that provide the very best postal system in the world.
In his parting comments, President Burris had these words of advice for future APWU leaders.
Let us continue the great traditions of the American Postal Workers Union. Let us unite in the fight for better pay and benefits, for workers' rights, and for social justice. Let us tear down the walls that separate us, black from white, men from women, young from old. Let us work together to build a better and a stronger union.
Also on Monday, delegates began the business of the convention. Secretary-Treasurer Liz Powell reported on the financial state of the union. This is her first convention as National Secretary-Treasurer. Powell said the APWU's finances are strong, and she pledged to maintain that status under her watch. Delegates also began debating and voting on resolutions submitted through the Labor Management Committee. These resolutions set the goals for upcoming contract negotiations with the U.S. Postal Service. Industrial Relations Director Greg Bell says the union is ready for bargaining.
It's our attempt to try to reach agreement. We hope we can reach agreement. It's in the best parties to reach agreement. However, if the Postal Service put concessions on the table, then the likelihood that there won't be agreement. And if there's no agreement reached, then we go to interest arbitration. Then we take our battle one step further before interest arbitration. In the past, we have been successful at the bargaining table when we could reach agreement. In interest arbitration, when we were unable to reach agreement, the choice is really the Postal Service. If they want to come to the table, if they want to deal in good faith, and they want to work with the union, they want to treat us as we're part of the process, then we can reach an agreement.
Assistant Clerk Craft Director Mike Morris also will take an active role in contract talks.
Well, we're asking our members to, the Postal Service has started putting out these Voice of Employee surveys where they survey our membership and try to get responses that would be helpful to them in negotiations or in the event that we go to interest arbitration. So we're asking our membership not to participate in those, and you know, just to support the union in general. This convention that we're at is a great opportunity, because that's when the negotiators of the contract, we get our opportunity to hear from the members. But the members that will be voting today in the Clerk Division Conference on resolutions. Clerks all over the country in their local union meetings, in their state conventions and other conventions, they have discussed the work rules of the contract in ways that they would like to see their life improved, things that they would like to see changed in the agreement. And they voted and discussed those at their various functions. And then we come here today, and all those that were passed, we'll discuss them. So we have the collective wisdom of all those people back home who discuss those issues. Then the delegates here, the elected delegates here, will vote and discuss on those issues. And then that's where we take our instruction when we go into negotiations and deliberations for our national agreement. So this is probably the most important reason we meet here, so that the people who negotiate the contract have an opportunity to hear directly from the members who are affected by it. So.